Hello everyone, this is Muted and Nuts, and today we'll be continuing our beginner-friendly Road to ACP video series. Today we'll be looking at a different platform altogether, that is TryHackMe. The box which we are looking at is Blaster. It is based on Windows and the difficulty is easy, so let's just get started. So first thing is that we do have an attack machine IP address noted down over here. I did note it down like the target machine as well, because in TryHackMe, like the IP address would be dynamic and it will change. So make sure you have your own machine when it is deployed. You have that IP address noted down somewhere so you don't have to waste time in getting to know the IP address, because obviously it is gonna change every now and then. Okay, so first thing, I usually run an AutoRecon scan, and if you guys don't know what it is, it's basically an enumeration tool. It's like it will do few nmap scans at first, and based on the output it's gonna do additional scans and enumerate things for you. 95% of the time it does the job, gets you the output desired result. At times you have to manually enumerate things further. That's why don't always rely on this tool entirely. Like, as in, you have to obviously know how to manually enumerate things as well. It's good to have, but it's like not it's not the only thing which you used to which you should use or something like that. So okay, so first thing, we can even do a quick TCP nmap scan if you guys don't have AutoRecon or something, or have difficulty installing. I think the installation is very simple of AutoRecon. You can get it from GitHub, but anyway, you can do nmap scan over here with SC for safe script, SV for service versions, and also you can give PN to avoid the ping probe, and then you can give the target IP address, that is 110.10.196.3. So you can do this. The nmap scan would start. I did already execute this with AutoRecon, so I'm not going to do it again. This is the quick TCP nmap scan. It's just going to do top 1000 ports. It's not going to do the entire 65536 ports. So what you can do is, for that you can just do the same thing, I guess, and then over here you can just give PEP, that is -P-, that is it's going to count all the particular ports. So this is like a full TCP nmap scan. You can even do a full TCP nmap slow scan if you missed out any ports, but I think this is 95% of the time this is going to work great. So yeah, let's go to AutoRecon, and that's how you do a nmap scan over here if you guys don't want to do from AutoRecon. So AutoRecon, basically this is the file path where I have saved this particular application, and this is a Python file. So I'll be running this with Python 3. I'll be giving sudo over here to run this as root. I'm running the box as Kali and not root. I'll be giving the target IP address, that is 10.10.196.3 in the case of Blaster, and also I'll be giving the O switch over here for output directory, and also the output directory location. Just ignore this particular IP over here, because when I did the box earlier, and that's the IP which was assigned. Okay, so let's move on. I did already execute the scan and I don't want to do it again, so let's just try and look at the scan result. So this is what you'll get, the scan result over here. First thing, I always look at the full TCP nmap scan. So just quick thing before looking at this, we'll just look at the quick TCP nmap scan, and if you see over here, we just have 3 ports open, that is 135, 139, 3389. I'm not sure if this thing ran too quick before the box literally starting way fast or something like that. I'm not sure. But the quick TCP nmap scan, so always make sure, like, you wait for some time for the box to start or something, and then probably perform your scans or something. So we just had these ports over here, and the full TCP nmap scan has like 80, 135, 139, 445 as well. Okay, so obviously the quick TCP should have caught that 80 or something, but I think the scan, I executed it earlier after just spawning the box in some time. I did wait for some time, but anyway. So basically it's like you check your full TCP nmap scan, you have your port 80 present over here, you have port 135, 139, 445, 3306, 3389, that is nothing but your RDP port, and also you get the host version and information present over here which says retro web and everything. It even gives you the product version, that's like the OS version it's gonna give over here. So basically you even know the OS version. You can take this, copy paste on Google, you'll get the OS probably. The multiple ports over here, this is nothing but it says HTTP, but it is actually that WSMAN port. That's your Windows remote management port. So, and over here this 80 is running the HTTP service, so we can probably go and look for that first. We do have SMB over here as well, so what we can do is we can try to enumerate SMB and see if you have guest login or something, and do that easily with this thing over here, and give the host over here 10.10.196.3 to see if there are any guest sessions. Obviously AutoRecon takes care of that as well. but don't always rely on this. Do a manual check as well for smbmap and smbclient. Okay, let's move on now. We'll just quickly go to the web browser and check the port 80, so 196.3. You just start this particular thing and it says Windows Server Internet Information Service. This is basically your default IIS web server page, and you don't have anything over here. You can do a view page source and see if you get anything interesting, but nothing over here, just a Microsoft link which is going to redirect you to Microsoft, and that's it. You don't get anything over here. There's nothing in SMB. Obviously, when I did the box for the first time, I was like trying to enumerate this particular RDP service, trying to find some exploits for it, because this thing stands out, right? RDP. There's MySQL as well. We'll come to that in a bit, but this thing stands out, right? Because usually you don't see these kind of stuff. Obviously, you see SMB or something and port 80, port 443, all those things. But yeah, this thing was standing out, so I tried exploits or something for that, trying to find vulnerabilities. And also you have MySQL over here, so obviously since MySQL is present, we can have a remote connection done. But obviously you can try for default creds, like root or something like that, but that did not work over here. Or you can try for some common creds as well, like admin, root password or something. That did not work over here. So unfortunately, I could not get anything out of MySQL. I'm not going to go and enumerate that now because in the interest of time. So what we'll try to do is, we do have this port 3389. That's okay. And since we have port 80 over here, we don't have anything. We can try and run a gobuster scan. AutoRecon does take care of that gobuster for you. And if you look at the AutoRecon's gobuster scan, this is what you're going to get. Nothing at all, because the list what it's using, it's like a small, not small exactly, but it's a very I think it's common THC or something. So it's a very small kind of a list, and hardly like probably 4,000 5,000 words in it, and that's not going to give you anything over here, unfortunately. But whenever I do the box, AutoRecon does the small common. That's okay, but I always recommend doing a small or a medium TXT. Usually I do small because that covers most of the things, but I do medium as well if I don't get the desired result or output. So because medium takes some time, to save time I do small. So it's highly recommended to do a small or a quick TCP and map scan. So if we, okay, I'll just show you before this. I'll just quickly show how to do a gobuster scan. So gobuster is not pre-default, it's not installed by default on your Kali machine, and you'll have to install it manually. So make sure you can go and get it from GitHub and get it installed. Okay, so gobuster, you have to just probably get the word list first. So that is small txt, which I'm going to run over here. The word list which we are looking for is this gobuster word list. Okay, directory list. Okay, so I'll just copy that. And in order to run the gobuster scan, okay, I'll just run it on top. I just sent a gobuster over here. Give the mode, that is directory mode. I'll be giving you switch for the URL, that is 10.10.196.3, because that's the URL on port 80. And then I'll be giving the word list with W switch, and then I'll be giving extensions. You can give extensions over here like PHP. Since it's IIS server, you can give ASPX or ASP as well, and BAT, HTML, and all those kind of things. And also you can give something like you can give threads over here. The default is 10, so I usually give 40 to be safe. At times 100 works as well, but 100 would at times give you timeout errors or something from the server. So 40 is a safe thing to go for, so you can give 40. It will run by default, it's 10, so it will run 4 times faster than that. And also you can give the O switch over here for output directory. You can mention something like gobuster 80 SMA ext txt. So this is what I usually do when I run the scan. This scan may take some time to execute, but I'll just show you how it looks like. So this is how it's going to start. It may take some time, because it may take quite some time. So I did already execute the scan. So if you look at the scan result, this is what I got. Okay, there is a redirect over here 301 that says retro. So obviously first thing I can go and check for that and see if I get something interesting over there. So this may probably take some time to load. Okay, so we do have this thing which says retro fanatics. So in short, I just got a different application over here in this particular directory. So that's how gobuster will help you multiple times. And if you see over here, it's like multiple games, I guess, all these all these legacy games present over here, and you can just go and check multiple things present over here, and as of now I don't know what this particular web application is running or something. So you can do a view page source over here and see multiple things if you find something interesting. And if you come over here, you see that it says WP block library. So what does WP mean? Is nothing but your WordPress. So generator as well, it mentioned WordPress over here. So in short, you can see that WordPress is actually, this application is running using WordPress. So you can confirm that. You can run another gobuster scan over here. You can take this thing, and instead of this particular gobuster over here, you can add retro, the newly found directory, and try to find files after that. But I'm not going to do that because I already know there's WP running over here, WordPress running, and there are multiple things over here, multiple comments and everything. There's one comment by Wade, I guess. You can probably go and enumerate this. Obviously, when you do the box for the first time, you can try and enumerate and see if you can try to get some, user information, username and everything. Try to note it down in cherry tree and see if you get something. Okay. So quickly, since we know WP is present over here, we can do a WP scan. But lately WP scan, the vulnerabilities and plugins and themes, I guess it does not output. You have to have some API token register in some website. But in this case it does works because plugins is not the actual part for exploiting. So you can do WP scan with URL switch over here and give HTTP 10.10.196.3. So now don't give this entire thing itself because it will probably say like WordPress could not be found or something like that. So probably give this, and then later on give retro as well, and then probably run the scan. You can do E over here to enumerate all and just run the scan. Probably it may take some time to run, I guess. So I did already execute. You can do this update now. Yes, no. Okay, let's just try running it again. I'm not sure what happened. Or you can run it with sudo as well. Let's just try running this. Because the updates somehow it requires. Okay, let's just try this again. Okay, updating database. For some reason, whenever I run this for the update, I use sudo over here. So, okay, let's just try using sudo. Let's just run using sudo because the website where it's actually being installed or downloaded, I guess, that has some root permissions or something. Let's just run this and see how it looks like basically. Okay, so the scanner started over here, and this is how it's present. And I'll probably just terminate this particular thing now because I did already execute. It may take some time, so I'm not sure why it's not quitting now, but yeah, never mind. We'll just look at the WP scan. So these files over here, the gobuster small txt and WP scan are not from are not from AutoRecon. These are the scans which I did manually execute further. That's why I mentioned, right? This is not your only thing what you can look at AutoRecon. You need to do some manual additional scans as well. So this WP scan I did execute it, and if you look over here, this is going to ask you for some token or something like that. API plugin. Since there were no plugins found, I guess it did not ask much. I did not use the aggressive method as well. I just used a normal one, and I could find something that is, first thing is obviously users identified, that is Wade. And this is one user which, the WordPress has users. So this is where it is usually mentioned. So we do have Wade over here. You can add this over here as potential users, and that is Wade. You can obviously check for this particular web application, try to find out any names, try to add as user, try to use that as passwords or something. So this, after you get that, I try to find multiple things in this WP or something, try to find some file, but I could not find anything over here. And since we know that the user is Wade, I clicked on his particular profile and try to enumerate things and see what is written. He has multiple posts present over here, as well as there are multiple recent comments. So I just tried clicking all of it and tried to analyze it over here. And this thing was, I'm not sure if it is a bit CTF kind of a thing, but this thing is a bit interesting. If you read this, it probably says that he has some attachment to the name Wade because it's from some movie and the main character name is Wade in short. And over here in the comment it says, I'm leaving myself a note here just in case I forget how to spell it, and that's possible. So this is like, I don't know, it's not very out of this, like, it's putting it something secret word or something like that, but it just says putting a special word, making a note over here in short, and it says parsable. So what we can do is, it's like a bit, I don't know, I'm still not okay with the fact that it was mentioned this way over here, and maybe probably my bad, I should have considered it. I could not literally check this, how like, okay, probably something, and I was checking for other users name. I was trying to add the passwords over there or something, but in short, that's not the way. And over here for the first task, oh by the way, TryHackMe has like multiple tasks, right? So for the first task, I guess, or second task, the one where you're gonna get RC or something, so obviously the scans and all are completed, so you can fill your answers over there. And my main focus is not filling the answers, but obviously if you're a beginner and you're trying to do step by step and TryHackMe, you can fill the answers from what all things I usually got. Like I got this web application over here, this is highlighted by this. I did get that IIS web server, the HTTP title over there, you can get it from there, something like that. Okay, so in short, this looks like something secret, and let's just try to copy this. And this is not like some tunnel vision I have that, okay, let's just add parsable over here. It says I'm making a quick note so that I don't forget how to spell it, just in case. So this is, we'll just try and check this for any sort of login credentials or something. So usually I do recommend, like whenever we saw that post, right, I think Tony somebody was a Tron or something, I'm not sure. So I usually take that and try to add as password, and even Wade was present, so I could add Wade as password. But since we already have a set of creds or something of that sort, we can just try and check for how, if it is a valid creds or something. So we can do smbmap over here, and with U we can give Wade over here, P over here for parsable, and also the host, that is 10.10.196.3. so let's just do that, and it says IP working on it, so that means it is a valid creds. And I'm not sure if you are okay. So in short, this thing was the actual password over here in the recent comments. This guy user put up this thing as password. So lesson learned, you can always try to find out some secret word or something like that. It not even says secret, but it says in case I forgot how to spell it. Okay, never mind. We do have this thing, we do have read-only access over here. You can use smbclient now, to get that share, but that has nothing present over there in SMB. Let's just do that. 10.10.196.3. You can do IPC. There's nothing present in IPC. Wade, and then give I over here. In smbclient it's I, not H, so 196.3. let's do that. Password parsable, okay, and we do get a shell over here from smbclient, but there's nothing present over here. So you can do dir a as well. There's nothing present over here, so it was probably useless. This thing only helped us that this is actually a valid username and password for this Windows machine, right? So we did have SMB over here, and obviously that Wade user, you can check if that is admin user or something, but I don't think that's the case. So what we can, admin user as in he belongs to administrative group or something. So what we can do is, since we have multiple ports over here, I did, after getting the creds, after confirming it with smbmap, I did try it over here in WSMAN using evil winrim, and that did not work either, because we'll see that why it did not work in some time, but that did not work. And later on, obviously there was this RDP port over here. You can try it with MySQL as well. And yes, another thing what I tried was the WP admin, right? In your WordPress, there's an admin side. So that was the first thing what I tried after confirming the creds. I got access over there. I tried to get a PHP reverse shell or reverse RC over there, and I was able to do that as iNet user. But that was again not the case to go, because after that I got the RC or something, then obviously there was RDP present over here as well. So I thought might as well use it. And to use RDP, I think from Linux box or from your Kali box, you have two ways, I guess. There can be more, but pre-install, I think there's RDesktop and X-Free RDP. RDesktop did not work for me, because it was having some certificate issues or something. I'm not sure, I could not fix it, so I tried to find out alternatives. I could get X-free RDP over there, so you can run this X-free RDP over here, and it also mentions the usage over here. You can just do this /u username, /p the password, and v for the host over here. So let's just try doing that over here, X-free RDP, and username was Wade P, that is Parzival, and then later on we can give B over here, that is 10.10.196.3. so let's just do that, and over here it will say, or probably ask you that, do you want to trust this? So probably press yes, because you have to trust it in order to connect. And if you see over here, it says other user, welcome, Wade, preparing Windows. So in short, this thing actually worked for your RDP session over here, and you have the access over here as RDP. So this usually does not happen, and especially in our OSCP series, like I don't think I've come across RDP. We came across VNC once, but not this like actual RDP kind of a thing. But in a way it was good. So we do have this particular thing present over here, and we can see that your user TXT is present. This is where I think the task 2 or 3 starts, the later one, once you get access to the system. You can get the flag over here. You can open this. I'm not going to open this file, and we can see multiple things. For me, this was a bit weird because it had RDP, and I like, obviously, since all the boxes were on PowerShell or CMD, so I was trying to enumerate using that first. And then obviously there was recycle bin over here as well, and I tried opening that, and I could see something present over here. Let's just, okay. So when I opened recycle bin, I could find this hhupd. So in short, whenever there's a default, see, recycle bin by default, it's has to be empty, right? So if there's something present, probably that is worth looking at. And if there are some non-standard applications present in the particular system, you should obviously know the file system, right? In Windows, there'll be like, in your C drive, there'll be like Windows, users, program files, directory, and all those kind of things. If there's some additional file over there, that means it's something to look at. It can be a rabbit hole probably, but there's no harm in checking it out on Google or something. So we do have this file over here which says hhupd, and I try to check what this file is about. And before that, we can just open CMD as well, just to get the manual enumeration sort of thing. This thing is a bit slow, so probably we'll have to wait. Okay, we do have this thing. We can just do system info over here and get the system information and see what it's running over here. We do have a Windows Server 2016 running with this particular build, which we saw earlier in our nmap scan as well. This particular build over here, and we do have, there's just one hotfix sub installed over here, that's it. Yeah, so this is a 64-bit system. We do have Windows 2016, that's it. So probably we can see what that particular file was, hhupd or something. So let's just go to our Kali machine over here, hhupd.exe. Okay, probably should I mention? Okay, so if we just try to restore that particular file from the recycle bin over here, let's just do that first, or we can just drag it over here in the desktop and see if it is useful. So this hhupd, if you look at the properties and everything, so this is probably an exe file. It says HTML help control. So if you look at this particular thing, you'll probably get multiple files present over here. Or if you can just do this, and if you just enter exploit in Google, like, you'll get multiple things present over here already. If you just enter this .exe, you're gonna get this particular link. And if you go over here, it says that there is a privilege escalation vulnerability in Windows. So obviously we are in Windows, so we are good to go. And it is defined as CV 2019. This 2019 means probably this box. We do have Windows Server over here. My bad. We do have Windows Server that is 2016. So probably this was a recent exploit, 2019. So this would probably be the intended way. It can be a rabbit hole as well. It says there's a good video demonstrating this particular issue. So you can check out this video. I'm not going to click on that and try to run through it, because I'm going to do the same thing what was present in the video. You can go and check it out. But yeah, and it says there are like few affected versions as well. So let's just go and check out this GitHub and see which all system versions are affected. And over here, if you see the Windows Server 2016 14393, so this is the same as our version over here. Where did it go? Okay, my bad. Okay, 14393 build. This is same thing, 14393, and this is affected. So most likely this confirms that this exploit should work. Probably there was a hotfix over there. So, but there's no harm in going and checking, right? There's only one hotfix installed. Hotfix is nothing but your Windows patches or something, KB patches. Okay, so what we'll try to do is we'll just go through and see how this particular exploit works. So basically what that exploit was telling you is, first thing, you have to start this particular hhupd. Okay, so if you start this thing, you have to just open it. Probably it will ask you for admin privilege, because in Windows you do have certain things like, you know, you're executing as admin. Before this, I'll just close this quickly, and okay, probably I'll just show this thing first and then we'll look at something else. So we do have this thing over here, and if I say show more details, it's gonna be like, you know, giving this particular information, saying that show information about publisher certificate. So the exploit, if you go through the YouTube video, that's the same thing. It's gonna show that you have to click on this thing, and then this particular certificate information comes. Click on this, and once you do that, since I'm in RDP, I'm a bit restricted with space over here. In short, you can see the mouse cursor, you know, going round and round. So that's like probably opening something in your Internet Explorer. You can close this now. The job over here is done for this. The Internet Explorer opened up over here, because it's going to this web page. Obviously this web page won't load because this TryHackMe server is present in, you know, a private internet which has no access to your public internet, like outside the world. Okay, so it just has access to my system because I'm connected through VPN over there in the internal network. It does not have access to outside network. So yeah, now if you go over here, you have to go to file and you have to do save as over here. So once you do that, it's probably gonna, I'll just run through the exploit first, and then probably we'll see how this particular thing works. So it says device connected, just close this probably, and then go to this PC. You can go to local to C, Windows, System 32. And over here, if we look at this thing below, it's going to only display these directories, but obviously there's cmd.exe present over here inside. This thing is not going to help us do that. So what we can do is cmd dot and just press star over here. So that means it's going to list down every file which is starting from cmd. So we have this thing. Sorry, what we can do is we can just, okay, before that, if I do who am I over here, I am Wade user, right? Because that's how I logged in, retroweb Wade. And I'll just open this thing now. And over here we are in Windows System 32. If I do who am I now, we are over here as NT authority system. That means we have system privilege, or, you know, admin privilege. It's not administrator and system are different, but in short we have full rights. So we have system privilege over here. We can go to users directory over here, dir. We can go to administrator directory now, dir, and we can go to desktop, dir, and get the root txt flag. So that's how we get root over here. So the reason why this works is because there's, you know, in user access control, there's some, you know, it was not properly fixed, or it was patched later on, but earlier there was some bug present over there, or vulnerability present in short, so which led to this particular thing. Now I'll show why this is actually happening in a bit. So we'll just, since we already got root, okay, I'll just close that thing and I'll just show why it's actually happening. So now over here, we'll just open our task manager as well. Just open this thing. I'll require more details. This is just extra work. If you guys just wanted to get root, that's more than enough. That's what you got to do. But this is I'm just explaining why, because I believe that we should know why this thing actually is working, right? Because my main concept is, okay, you get root by reading the article, that's fine, but how you got it, why it actually worked. So if we just go over here, okay, I'll just open this Internet Explorer for now. Okay, for some reason Okay, so unfortunately the box got terminated and I had to actually restart the box again, and the box is acting a bit slow now, but yeah, we'll just continue and see like why that thing is actually taking place, why are we getting system access over there. So first thing, I just started the task manager. Since we already have RDP access, it was easier just to go and search and type task manager and open this up. Then in processes, you can see the list of processes. You can obviously do more details over here. That's what this whole thing is about. Okay, so over here we don't have Internet Explorer, right? So I just want to show that why that expert actually works. So if we just try to open Internet Explorer over here, and it's going to take some time, so we'll probably just wait for that to complete. Yeah, so this thing has started over here. Okay, and we'll just leave this as it is probably, and we'll just minimize once it's properly loaded up. We'll just try to minimize that, and we'll just try to see that Internet Explorer has started over here. Okay, task manager is just a GUI, and in Linux we see, right, the service is running as root or user www data or something like that. In Windows also you can do that, and even PowerShell as well you can do that. Okay, when you have to get the list of processes, you can get the username as well, which user is actually running that process. So if you see over here, iexplorer.exe, that is nothing but your Internet Explorer, what I'm running over here, the web browser, it's actually running as user Wade. Okay, these two services over here with process ID, these things, it's running as user Wade. So we are Wade over here, we are not system. Okay, so that's what is one key thing to note about, that we are running as user Wade. Now second thing is, I'll just open up this application over here. The box may act a bit slow now, so we'll just probably wait till this thing loads up. I just press right click and it may take some time because the resources given to this box is quite low. Okay, finally. So I'll just do open over here and run the same thing what we did earlier to get the system shell, right? So we got system shell. That's what we'll try to see how it's actually happening. Probably take some more time over here. I'm not sure why it's taking so long, but yeah. Okay, like earlier we went to this show details, show information about the publisher certificate. We clicked on this particular thing and our job over here was done, because this is taking us to the HTTPS very signed website. So we can probably just close this thing over here, and if we check our Internet Explorer, that thing will probably open up a new tab over here. Okay, so this is what it opened. I did not click on it, it just opened from that application itself, as I mentioned earlier, right? It says waiting for very sign, but obviously it will not load. This thing will not load because if you look at processes over here, and we do have Internet Explorer running up and running before we went to that application, right? And if you go to details over here, this Explorer, whatever application is running or present over here, it's running as user Wade, and it's not running as that system user or something like that. So if we just go over here, processes, go to details, this is what's happening, Wade itself. Okay, so if we just, it's not that the different tab will run as some different user. This entire application will either run as system or it will either run as Wade. Okay, the entire application. Okay, now if we just go over here and try to execute our expert in a similar manner, obviously since the application is running as user Wade, the command or the cmd shell which we'll get, that will also be as user wait most likely, but we'll come to that in a bit. Just save. I just try to save that and probably take some time to load this thing up. Okay, we'll just go to this PC and we'll have to go to local disk C. Probably could have entered C Windows System 32 over here, but we'll just go with the GUI. Windows System 32. Okay, System 32. cmd dot star as we did it earlier as well, and then we'll scroll below over here to find that cmd file. Okay, we do have this thing. I just right clicked it just to run and open it, but probably it's taking some time. If you guys want, you can obviously skip ahead and see what's actually happening. Yeah. Open. Don't do run as administrator, just do open, because that's what the same thing which we did earlier as well. You don't have to do run as administrator over there. So once we open that, we are inside Windows System 32, but if I do who am I over here, we are over here as wait itself. Why wait? Because the parent process Internet Explorer, which was created earlier, right, that was actually running as user wait. That's the reason. Because of this vulnerability, the way it exists is if the application is already present and running as some other user, it's not going to give you a system shell because it's not creating a new Internet Explorer for you. Okay, so that's why it's running as user wait, and through that Internet Explorer we created a child process that is the cmd.exe. That's the reason it gave us the wait reverse shell itself. Oh sorry, the wait cmd shell. Okay, this is what it is, and probably I'll just close this for now. And probably I'll just close this Internet Explorer as well. Just cancel this, close this thing. Hope it gets closed fast. Okay, in the meanwhile, what we'll try to do is I'll just go to your expert directory, create a new folder that is SMB. Because once we get a system shell, we'll just try to get a proper netcat shell over here and locate ncexe. And get a proper reverse shell on a box, right? Because that obviously is the RDP, which is not very okay or quick or something like that. So we'll just get a netcat shell over here. So I just closed this Internet Explorer, but for some reason it doesn't want to close all tabs. I will just cross check and see that all the processes over here have been closed as well. So it's still running, but let's just give it a moment because obviously the box is a bit slow right now. So just wait a bit and see if all the Internet Explorer things closed. I don't want anything to be open, so we just have this one thing over here. Let's close that as well, and I think it's done. So if we go to details over here, and we do have Explorer, we don't have iExplorer now over here running as wait. Okay, so that's one thing which we did. Now again, we'll try to open this up. We have Internet Explorer closed. We don't have any apps running already. So we'll just try to open this up. Right clicked it. I'll just click on open. Probably it's gonna take its own time to open. This is not about TryHackMe, by the way. This is because I'm not subscribed to TryHackMe, so I'm given limited resources on the box which I deploy. So obviously if you subscribe, you're gonna get high resource. Box is gonna be faster. Okay, so let's just open this up. Okay, so same thing what I did earlier as well, and this is the same thing which you're gonna find in the other YouTube video as well. Okay, show more details. Publisher certificate. Click on this link over here. The job's done. We'll wait for that scrolling to get done. I guess we can just close this thing. Internet Explorer might have probably opened up behind. As I mentioned, we are in RDP, so there are some space constraints or something, but probably Internet Explorer will start. And if we see over here, this process has started already. And this thing will obviously come up in a bit. I have not clicked anything yet, but this thing has started already. And if you see, the username does not mention anything. So this usually happens when it is not your current user, creating that process. It's either the administrator system or some other user probably. So that's why that thing is not mentioned over here, which is most likely to be a system process. That's where this vulnerability lies. It opens up that link with system access or system privilege using Internet Explorer. So that's what it's doing over here. This key thing over here is system that has created this process, that is your Internet Explorer using this thing. Now if I go over here and if I try to do that file save as, okay, let's just wait for this thing to load probably, then we can do that. Okay, in the meanwhile, we'll just quickly set up a SMB server as well. Sudo impacket SMB server, and you can just give the name as mutated nuts. This is nothing but your shared drive name, and then pwd because I want the current working directory itself. I'm not sure if we need to give SMB2 support. I'll probably just give SMB2 support. SMB2 support. I don't want any errors later, so that's why I'll just probably give it now. Okay, we do have this thing present over here. The IP address has changed, by the way. I have made a note over here as well. The new IP which I got was this, because I had to restart the box. I got a new IP over here. So please don't get confused with that. Like in the first half, obviously, I will be like there was a different IP and suddenly there's a different. I had to restart the box. So okay, I just clicked on that save as, same old process. Okay. Close this thing. This PC. Local to C. Could have gone here as well, but Windows. System 32. And now since the Internet Explorer is running as system user, obviously it's not mentioned as task manager, but that's what it's running as. And since we are low privilege user, it's not going to show us system or something like that over there. It's not exactly how it's mentioned in Linux. It's a bit different in Windows. So if you open this up, obviously you will have a system shell because the process over here. I hope that CMD opened up. Okay, this is the weird one. Oh, okay. This thing is present over here. And if we just do who am I over here now, obviously we are over here as NT authority system, as we saw earlier. It's just taking some time to load up over there, but we are over here as system. Okay, so this is how we got system over here, and that's how it's all because of this iExplorer. Okay, your Internet Explorer was actually running as system user, and later on it created a child process over here with the cmdxt using system privileges. That's where the vulnerability lies. Okay, now this was I think the task tree, and task 4 is probably use Metasploit to have a persistent connection or something. But for now, what we'll try to do is and with respect to OSCP, we need a reverse shell back to your system system or something, right? Sorry. So what we'll try to do is we'll use netcat. We have already set up a SMB server over here. What we can do is we can set up a netcat listener over here. And SMB server is for transferring file. We have created our own server on our Linux machine to transfer the NC file which we copy pasted earlier in this SMB directory. So it's mentioned, it's present in your Kali box, so you can get it from Google as well. So I'll just do nc nvlp. That is netcat as a connection where you'll actually get a connection from the target machine to the attack machine, and we'll be using nswitch for numeric IPs only, V for verbose, L for listening mode, and P for port number. And also we'll be giving the port 4444 over here, and we'll be listening. And over here in this RDP session, we'll just give the network drive name. I don't want to copy anything because there's a AV present, probably try to delete it or something. So 1010, and let me just look at the IP. That is 10.8.128.122. 10.8.128.122. Okay, that's the IP address, the shared drive name, and then the ncexe. Then we'll be giving, this is just a command to execute the file from the network drive. Now I'll be giving a command for this nc.exe. So I'll be just giving eswitch over here, cmd.exe, and then the target IP address, that is 10.8.128.122, and then I'll be giving the port number 4444. Okay, the one which I've started over here already. Let's hit enter and see if we get something. We get some connection request over here, and it says the server cannot perform the requested operation for some reason. Okay, so let's just try running it again. Probably, I'm not sure if we need to remove this SMB to support. Let's see if this works. Without it, let's try running this again. cmdxe 128.4444. Okay, and I don't think we require SMB to support over there, but never mind, for some reason it did not transfer over there. And over here in netcat, we do have a shell over here, that is system shell. So probably we can go and get our administrator root flag and everything. So that's how we got our reverse shell over here. So this was the box. Okay, it was a bit easy, but the first part was a bit, I don't know, I found it a bit CTF like, but you know, it's just my personal opinion. And you know, I got, so just to give a summary of the box, first we did try and enumerate the port 80 and try to find out a retro directory using gobuster small tc scan. Then we did find a WordPress site over there. We did get a username from the WordPress scan, that is wpscan, and we did find a comment section over there, and we did get, you know, in the blogs comment, we did find some password present over there. So we did you know, check that password in smbmap, and we saw that it is a valid credential. Then we tried to use it with RDP. Once we came in RDP, we saw in recycle bin there was an exploit present as hhupd, which is basically your user access control vulnerability, like it's trying to exploit that. So probably it was present over there for us to, you know, get a hint or something on that. And then we did try to exploit the box using this try to open it using the Internet Explorer, and then we got a system shell over there. And yeah, that's how it was done. The box was a bit easy, but obviously as I mentioned earlier, the first part was a bit tricky. And also another thing to note is this particular box, I guess, so it has this particular thing over here which says the history file, and I think the history file as well included some details on, you know, on last visit or something like that present over. Okay, not this particular thing, but from the user, if you'll open this Internet Explorer, it gave you some details or something on that. So let's just open that and see. So that's not present over here, I guess. At least when I did the box, that time those things were not present in a history file or something. So usually there would be something over here, but there was nothing present, and there's some bug in this particular box. Any which way, this was a box, and if you guys like the video, and that was, you know, the box after it restarted, it was acting a bit slow, so if y'all want, you could have forwarded that. Okay, any which way, if y'all like the video, do give a thumbs up. If y'all have any queries, do ask me in the comments below, and do subscribe for more upcoming videos. Thank you.